All right, let's just get right into it. The years 2026 and 2027, they're going to be a huge turning point. I mean, I truly believe these next 2 years will draw a massive line in the sand, separating the people who adapt from those who, well, risk becoming obsolete. But here's the kicker. It's probably not going to happen in the way you think. So picture this. A study comes out, let's say, from Reuters in 2025, and it finds that somewhere between 50 and 80% of Americans are genuinely scared that AI is going to make their job disappear for good. I mean, think about that. That's a huge chunk of the population just completely terrified. And while all that fear is going around, there's this small group, the first movers, who are quietly off in a corner building something totally different. But here's the great disconnect, the real paradox. While public fear is through the roof, a big McKinsey report from 2026 shows something else entirely. Yeah, sure, 88% of businesses are messing around with AI, but only a tiny fraction, like 1 to 6%, have actually mastered it. They haven't reached what the experts call AI maturity, where it's truly baked into everything they do. So you see the gap, right? Most people are scared of it, but most companies don't even know how to use it right yet. And that's our window of opportunity. Okay, so how do we make sense of all this? We've laid out a simple roadmap for you. First, we'll look at the great AI disconnect. Then we'll dive into what's actually coming in 2026. After that, we'll talk about the real threat. Spoiler, it's not AI. Then we'll cover the solution, human plus AI, and finally wrap up with your very own first mover's guide. All right, section 2, what's coming in 2026? Let's really dig into what's just around the corner, in the next 12 to 24 months. Because honestly, the predictions coming from top researchers they're pretty wild, and they're exactly why we need to be talking about this right now. And the main thing to get here is that this isn't some far-off, 2040 science fiction stuff. Nope. The groundwork for all this massive change, it's being laid as we speak. We're expecting huge breakthroughs in 2026, and by 2027, that gap between the adapters and, well, everyone else, it's going to get a whole lot wider. So, prediction number 1, data centers in space. Seriously, Google is actually planning a 2-satellite test run for 2026. We're talking onboard processing, solar panels, and get this, space lasers for communication. And this is way more than just a cool science project. The whole point is to create this near-instant global data network that could completely bypass all the limitations we have down here on Earth. Okay, next up for all you gamers out there, or really anyone in a creative field, get ready for fully developed video games played by millions that are 99 to 100% created by AI. Think about that. The role of a human developer is going to completely flip. Instead of building every little thing from scratch, they'll become more like creative directors, curating the amazing stuff AI comes up with. It's going to be a whole new era of hyper-personalized gaming. Prediction 3 is fascinating. As AI gets so good that we literally can't tell the difference between what it makes and what a human makes, a whole new industry is going to pop up. Verification as a service. The label human-made is going to become the new organic. Like when you go to the grocery store, it'll be a luxury certification, proving that art or writing or an idea is authentically human. It'll create this whole premium market for the real deal. All right, what about at home? Look, forget about those sci-fi humanoid chefs for a minute. The real robot revolution is going to be something researchers are calling robotic slop. And it's not what it sounds like. It's about robots that just handle dozens of those tiny, annoying, cumulative tasks 24/7. Picking up socks, putting clothes in the hamper, taking out the recycling. It's not one big flashy job. It's constant, low-level tidying that frees up a massive amount of our time and mental space. And finally, prediction 5, and this is a big one. You've got experts like Sam Altman warning about a major cybersecurity event. Now, this could go one of two ways. Either a massive, devastating breach caused by some new offensive AI, or a huge breakthrough in AI-powered defense that changes the game. Either way, that decades-long cat-and-mouse game between attackers and defenders, it's about to get a hard reset. Okay, let's take a breath. I know I just threw a ton of pretty disruptive predictions at you. Space lasers, robot slop. It's easy to see why people are feeling a little anxious, right? But this brings us to what might be the most important part of our whole conversation today. We need to reframe the problem. It's not about the technology, it's about our mindset. So, with all this change hurtling towards us, what's the real threat? What should we actually be worried about? And the answer is simple, but it's so important. The technology isn't the threat. The real danger, the biggest hurdle, is staying rigid. It's digging your heels in and refusing to change while the world is sprinting ahead. Because that fear, it leads to paralysis. And paralysis is what actually makes you obsolete. So what's the antidote to being rigid? I call it a fluid approach. It's pretty simple, really. It's the ability to look at all this chaos and calmly figure out what's real and what's just hype. It's about strategically weaving the useful new tools into what you do. And this is the most important part, evolving your skills toward the kind of high-value human work that a machine just can't touch. Okay, so that brings us to the solution. And this is where things get really empowering. This isn't about us versus the machines in some losing battle. It's about a whole new way of working. Human plus AI. It's all about how you become amplified, not replaced. Now, if you remember just one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. The right person, the person with the right skills and the right fluid mindset, isn't getting replaced by AI. Not even close. The right person is getting amplified by AI. We're talking 25 times more effective, maybe even more. And that right there is the fundamental difference between the people who are going to thrive and the people who are going to get left behind. So how does this amplification actually work? It's through a model called human in the loop. Basically, it just means we stop trying to beat AI at its own game, the boring, repetitive stuff. Instead, we step up. We become the director, the overseer, the one who integrates its power to get amazing results that neither of us could have ever done alone.
And you can see how this changes everything when you look at how roles are evolving. I love this analogy. When the car replaced the horse, we didn't just have a bunch of unemployed horse trainers. No, we got mechanics, highway engineers, Uber drivers. The same thing is happening right now. That boring data entry job, it's evolving into an AI oversight specialist. Manual content creation, that's turning into prompt engineering. The jobs aren't just vanishing, they're leveling up, and they all need a human to lead the way.
So, what skills should you be focused on? It's simple. Double down on everything that makes you human. We're talking about your judgment, your ability to see the bigger picture, your strategic thinking, your knack for building relationships, and your emotional intelligence. Your creative spark for solving weird, new problems. An AI can follow orders, but it can't do that. These are your new superpowers, and they are becoming more valuable by the day. Which brings us to our final section, your first mover's guide. Okay, enough theory. This is where we get practical. This is your playbook for taking everything we've talked about and turning it into action. Here are 5 clear steps you can take, starting today, to take control of your future. All right, here we go. Step 1. Change your mindset. Seriously. Start seeing AI as a tool that amplifies you, not something that replaces you. Step 2. Pick one thing. Just one boring, repetitive task you do, and figure out how to use an AI tool to make it easier. Step 3. Develop those irreplaceable human skills. You know the ones. Judgment, strategy, creativity. Step 4. Build your fluidity muscle. Get used to small changes so that when the big ones come, you're ready. And finally, step 5. Be the director, not the competition. Tell the AI what to do. Don't try to do its job. Because at the end of the day, the future isn't human or AI. It is and always will be human plus AI. And that future, it's not some distant dream. It's being built right now by the first movers, the people who see this shift happening before the crowd does. So the only real question left is, are you one of them?